Yeah, good morning, guys. This is me, your brother, your friend, you right here this morning as I, do justice to the topic that is before us this morning. Guys, it has been a very beautiful and a wonderful week, for Nigerians. As you can see that the election that was just concluded right now have been source of joy to so very many of us. Let me recap a little bit. You know that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is from Osun State. BC Akande, the first national chairman interim of APC, is from Osun State. The present minister of defense, Arabeshala, is from Osun State. The incumbent governor that was defeated is from Osun State. All these big wins put together with the bullion van and the dollar ring and the polling unit could not give victory to the APC and its candidate in the Osun governorship election. That is a pointer that the people are becoming wiser by the day. Let me tell you a shocking news. Based on statistics, the voting strength between 18 and 50 years was 72.5% of the election in Osun. I repeat again. The voting strength of that election of the youth between 18 and 50 years was 72.5%. So it means the entire Osun State election was actually mobilized by the youth of Osun. That shows, guys, that the youth are actually waking up right now. That shows there's an awareness of how bastardized the future of the youth are in this contraction called Nigeria. That shows there's already, a revolution going on in the mind of the youth in order to redeem themselves from the carnage, from the political trauma, from the economic disability that the old-fashioned criminals in power had kept us. I would say kudos to NSAS protest. What actually reawakening the youth of Nigeria. Now, was it PDP that won the election or the Osun people? I want to make my PDP brothers happy. PDP is a political party, is a convener of people like APC, LP, AAC, NNPP, etc., etc. Within these different political parties, there are people with high level of integrity, high level of moral values that will not want to sell their birthright all because they are supporting the political party. You can see this, the the sex toy senator, Senator Elijah, who resigned from the APC because of the Muslim ticket. You can see the likes of Babashi Lawal, the former SSG to the federal government, who also decided to become docile in this very particular electionary period because of the Muslim ticket. Consider the likes of Barrister Kenneth Okonkwo, the veteran Nollywood actor, who also tendered his resignation letter from APC as a result of the Muslim ticket. That shows, guys, within the corridor of the APC, there are still people with integrity. There are people that have the mind of the people. The same with other political parties. So, in Osun election, the people are already tired of the APC, and they saw caution in the person of Ademola Adeleke, popularly known as the dancing senator. I personally supported Senator Ademola Adeleke in Osun election, and I'm going to give you a reason why I did that. I am not political. I support the best candidate in any of the political platform, depending on my conviction of what that candidate is going to do for the people. Someone asked me, said, Human Stephen, why did you support Ademola against Lawal Yusuf of the Labour Party? And I felt like I told him, I'm not a Labour Party guy. I supported Obaseki of PDP, and I'm supporting OP of Labour. And I supported Adeleke of PDP. So now you will see, I'm not supporting based on political party, I'm supporting based on individual, antecedents. Number one, the dancing senator has proven beyond every reasonable doubt that he's a down-to-earth guy. If you watch him yesterday, when he was doing his Thanksgiving, he actually led praises in the church. That shows who he is. Doesn't give a hoot about nothing. During the whole period when himself and his nephew Davido were on stage, you see the guy was just all himself. He's a free, licensed guy. Number one. Number two, you can also saw the moment he was declared the winner of the election, how he immediately prostrated, belly flat, before his uncle, who is Davido's father, appreciating him for what he did in making him to become the governor-elect of Osun State. Number three, we all know that the Adelekes are one of the most richest people in Nigeria, who is led by Davido's father. But you can be able to see how humble the Adeleke families are when it comes to wealth and how they exercise their authority over others. There's this level of decency in the family. You will remember in a video that went viral when Davido called that his father is the really Jagaban of Yoruba land. Immediately, the Adeleke senior rebuked Davido. Immediately, Davido kept quiet. Davido on his own is also a billionaire on his own right. So he would have said to disregard his father, having made, despite the father was wealthy, Davido actually made the father to become famous. Davido actually personally, took over his uncle's electionary campaign with his team and his popularity. But the moment the father said, "Shut up," he kept quiet. These are characteristics I've seen in this family that have made me to say, yeah, I think if an Adenike is elected a governor in Osun State, Davido's father will not want his name to be rubbish in the month. He will do everything to make sure that the name of the family is kept intact. That is a signal of what we need there in a country like Nigeria. People that have antecedents, people that we can easily look at and see where they are coming from, where they've gone to, and what they've done in their lives. I told somebody yesterday, I said, if Dangote was in this race today, I myself would have thrown my weight behind Alhaji Dangote. Not because he's a Fulani man, not because he's from the north, because he has competency that I can prove that this man, if he's been given the liberty to lead Nigeria, he will lead Nigeria the way he's leading this country. And he will make Nigeria to be one of the best countries in the world. So, when one say PDP won in Osun, I would say no, the Osun people won. But PDP, they used the vehicle called PDP to win the election. One, the first thing that happened was the Muslim ticket of Tinubu was a heavy blow in that election. The second thing that happened was Gandoje, the governor of Kano State, came to Osun and said, vote for Ayola because he's a Muslim. That was a slap in the face of the Osun people who are 75% Christians. Number three, we have seen the carnage, the carnivorous behavior of the second most deadliest terrorist group in the world, which we call today the Fulani jihadists. You can testify the carnage that they did in Owo, this state. A stone thrown from Osun. That is still be registered in the mind of the people. How they can be able to take away this very unpleasant situation within the Southwest region to save the future. So this election is not going to be about the political party. Go back it, guys. This election in 2020 is going to be about individuals. It's going to be about people with conscience. It's going to be about people with integrity. We are going to push for people we know can be able to change the narratives of this nation called Nigeria in every sphere. I want to say big congratulations to the dancing senator. And I believe strongly we're going to bring life to governance in Osun State. You're a very jovial man. You're the guy who laughs a lot, who play around. And I know with the kind of thing you do, you're going to play into success. I want to say big congratulations to Ademola Adeleke, Senator Ademola Adeleke, the governor-elect of Osun State. Bravo, sir. I want to say big thank you to Senior Adeleke, Davido's dad. I want to say big thank you to Davido, who actually stood by his uncle all through this time to actually see them, becoming what they are today. Congratulations, guys. Well done. Bravo. Now, let me go to the next one. Oshomole came out a few days ago and he made a very anti-Christian comments. I know Oshiomhole was once a Muslim before he converted to become a Christian. I know he still had that Christian, that Muslim, blood in him. But for any Christian, in whatsoever disguise, to say a Muslim ticket is the best way for a polarized nation like Nigeria, such a Christian should go and re-examine his medulla oblongata. Anyone, for whatsoever political reason, you will think that a Muslim ticket is an answer to the problem of Nigeria, guy, you are making the greatest blunder of a political life. I listened to Baba Shahid Lawal when he said something that I quoted, which I took in high esteem. He said, on a Muslim ticket agenda, if for whatsoever reason Tinubu and Shatima finally won the election, he said nothing they are going to do, whether it is right or wrong, that will please the Christian community. He said because the Christian community will feel they are not represented in the government. And that is the simple truth. The Muslim ticket will divide Nigeria more than we are right now, if for whatsoever reason they finally won. With the audacity and with that pride and arrogancy at which the bat speaks, shows volume of what will become of the Christians and the non-Muslims if the Nigerian of today allow a Muslim ticket. Few days ago, guys, Shatima, the running mate of Tinubu, said Peter Obi can only be a president in Igbo land. That is the mindset that we are about to experience if they finally get into the corridor of power. That is going to be a blow on the Nigerian state. If a man like Shatima could reason in such a myopic, in such a backward and insensitive way, why is still trying hard to convince the people of his nomination as a vice president? What do you think will become of him if he finally won the election come February 2023 and maybe sworn in come May 2023? He's going to annihilate, orchestrate the entire Igbo land. If he can think, an Igbo man can never be president of this nation. This is the mindset of many of these people, particularly the Muslim extraction of the corner. It is a taboo, it is a sin for an Igbo man to ever come out and contest for the position of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Having forgotten after the Nigerian Civil War between 1967 and 1969 or 1970, there was a white paper understanding between the three major tribes that make up the Nigerian state, which brought rise to what they call a federal character. Which was a federal character. And this has become a thing that we all need to start thinking about. When a man like Shettima will come and say, how can an Igbo man become the president of Nigeria? How can that be? That shows the mindset of these people engaged the Southeast. So we as Nigerians will begin to see beyond the surface. And I'm surprised that a man like Oshomole, who stood this low to have accepted a Muslim ticket and think he can be able to send such, a candidacy to the South that is predominantly Christian community. Maybe can be able to do that in Edo North to some extent, but not in Edo South or Edo Central or any other part of the South, particularly the South and the Southeast, which are predominantly 99% Christians. Can he send such a thing to people in Benue, in Plateau, and other parts of the North Central? This very particular project that is propelling. That shows that the Nigerian state today is still under the kidnapping of these few elites who want to remain in power at all costs. Thank God for people like Prophet Buba and the other guy from Kaduna State who are actually vying or fighting for a government that will be inclusiveness. Yesterday, I was just scrolling through the Facebook page and I saw that the TV station that was opened, the Facebook TV that was online TV that was opened by the Obedient family is already recruiting people. And I've said, wow, a government that have not got into power is already employing people with a minimum of 100,000 naira. And I was amazed. That is what we need. People can create nothing from something and make the Nigerian state today what we expect it to be in the future. Those of us who live in diaspora should be aware that diasporas are being run just this way. Abroad, you run to is being run in a way like this. The well-to-do people are given the opportunity to invest in the nation. So, if at the end of the day you are unable to do the right thing, but you want to perpetually keep yourself in the corridor of power, all in the name to acquire wealth, become disastrous to the growth and development of the nation. I want to beg and Oshomole, with the Edo people, respect you and love, sir. You are one of our best, breeds in this present dispensation. I want to say with all sense of humility, sir, you must listen, you must try to check the pendulum where it swings to. You must try to check the impulses of your people before you speak. You become an eye of the Edo people. So we expect you to speak when necessary. Rather, you can keep quiet. Just the way you did during the 2020 gubernatorial election in Benin, selling an unsellable candidate, destroyed your hard-earned reputation that you have built all these years. So we are not expecting the same to occur again in this time, to want to plead with you, sir, soft pedal, speak less, and actually hurt more. Now, what are the chances of Peter Obi's in 2023? Guys, the truth is this. Obi has a very bright, smart chance of winning the election in 2023. I want to say this. Number one, with the Osun election, 72.5% of the voting strength was the youth. Number two, today, 70% of the Nigerian youth are in support of Obi that is presidential bid. Number three, we found that many of the elder statesmen in Nigeria today are also in support of the Obi Dante presidential bid. The Christian communities today, particularly in the north, are already vying or supporting the Obi Dante bid. Are they supporting Obi because of Labour Party? The answer is no. The truth is, guys, I'm really disappointed at the Labour Party ESCO or executives today, national leaders. I have never seen a leader that is so docile like the Labour Party. The truth of the matter is this, guys. I expect by now, with the popularity that the obedient and the obi-centric have put into the Labour Party, I expect to be seeing the Labour Party leadership in every interview, in every TV stations in Nigeria, selling the Labour Party to the Nigerian people. Even with the statement that was made by Bola Tinubu before the Osun election, that the other party and the Labour and the mushroom parties with Labour in vain till they die. So Peter Obi that came out. That was not supposed to be the job of Peter Obi. That's supposed to be the job of the Labour Party escorts. Obi came out and said there is dignity in Labour. That was a bomb that quenched or shut up the unwarranted utterances of that. I expect by now, with all the social media, fire being created by Dante and Obi, I expect by now they would have risen beyond a certain level to create more awareness so that there will be, structures in all the 774 local government areas, 36 states, and the Federal Capital Territory of the party. But what I see is that the Labour Party only showcase a movement, but are not actually ready to follow the movement to the last. I want to encourage Peter Obi. I want to encourage Patutomi. I want to encourage Baba Ahmed Dati and every other member who are there, progressive who are there, to kindly begin to speak to the people in the remote part of the state or the nation will hear of Labour Party. Because many people have heard of Peter Obi. You know, on the day of election, Peter Obi is not going to be on the ballot paper. The Labour Party symbol will be on the ballot paper. So we are expecting right now that people should start speaking up, talking about Labour Party, pari pursuit, Peter Obi and his presidency, so that people in the remote village will start knowing which party they are going to vote for on the day of election. Keeping quiet is like you are trying to, accept defeat even before you are being defeated. One thing I want to say to you guys is this. His Excellency Peter Obi has created a shape for Nigerian politics. In 2020 October, the NSAS woke on the consciousness, the sleeping giants of the Nigerian youth. In 2023, the consciousness of the Nigerian youth towards politics will be awakened by the presence of Peter Obi. Whether Peter Obi wins or not, I'm going to promise you that there's going to be a fire on the mountain towards politics and elections in Nigeria. You know what happened in Osun on Saturday? Why they were collating results. After the results have been collated and the winner be declared at that polling unit, the INEC ad hoc officials said they do not have that time to transmit to the server. The youth who waited patiently at the polling unit told them, don't worry, we'll give you data to transmit. He actually did what we did in Edo State, where we voted and we defended our vote till the result were announced. That is a clear show that the youth are getting awoken by the event of things. That is a pointer that we are no more the lazy, docile youth according to President Muhammadu Buhari. That shows that the youth have seen that their future are being mortgaged by these people. That if nothing is done now, when this old man would have been gone, we will be paying the debts of what we never, ever consumed. Now, because of this awareness and consciousness that have been put in place, we are now ready to defend our vote after we have voted. This is a striker for 2023. I want to say, those of you who have not gotten your PVCs, what are you still waiting for? The destiny to change the narrative of Nigerian politics is in your hands. The destiny of this nation lies in our hands. 2023 is going to be a game changer for Nigeria. If we miss it, it will take us another 50 years, mark this down, to get it right. Somebody told me, said, what has to be done What has he done that everyone praises to be? What are his antecedents? What are his achievements? Why he was in government? I laughed. I'm going to tell you some stories. You know, I love telling stories, guys. Now, let me tell you something, guys. Do you know that at the time Obi came into government in Anambra State, Anambra politicians were actually enriching themselves with the public fund. Do not forget Chris Ngige and Chris Oba. Do not forget the Okija shrine. As at this time, anyone that is being elected as governor of Anambra practically share the commonwealth of Anambra with some few greedy, selfish politicians who are backroad them into the corridor of power. Thank God that Chris Ngige is still alive. He said in one of his video then, or his broadcast then, that he actually went to a shrine known as the Okija Shrine with Chris Oba before the election, that he swore to an oath. We also know that despite Chris Ngige was the governor in, Anambra State, he was kidnapped and locked up. If not for the intervention of the federal government of Nigeria, who came to the rescue of Chris, while he was still a governor with immunity and all the security apparatus all around. Justice came, and Peter Obi won in the Court of Appeal, and he was reinstated as the governor-elect of. During this time, right, the war for who to actually control the soul of Anambra State was already on the front border. Anambra was indebted. Anambra was not even up to number 10 when it comes to education, because all of them were going to apprenticeship. How to sell spare parts and do other kind of businesses. Then Peter Obi came and began to change the narratives. Listen, guys, Rome was not built in a day. Let's give an example of a passenger when he came in 1999. Nigeria was in debt. So much debt to the World Bank, to the IMF, to the Paris Club, and many other, money lenders around the world. But having sat down, the government having seen the level of debt that the country having incurred, went around the entire world, pleading for debt relief on the Nigerian government. Eventually, it took Nigeria to a zero position when it comes to debt. He tried his best to change the military mentality of the Nigerian people and the Nigerian army to become civilians. This takes time, guys. This takes ample time. He did that. He let government and handed over to show Umar Musa Yar'Adua, sorry. Umar Musa Yar'Adua came and began the process of rebuilding a better nation. This is what Willie Obiano could not do in Anambra State, guys. He started the process of building a better nation. He stopped the insurgency in the South. He reduced the price of petrol products in Nigeria. The only president that have done that. He began to see the process of bringing a free and fair election. He allowed the opposition parties to win elections without no rigging. He actually brought back Oshomole to government. While he was doing this, death cheated us of such a wonderful leader that we have taken Nigeria from the woods to the heavens. When Jonathan came, he tried his best. He was doing all he could do to stand on the precedent of his predecessors. But having known he had criminals around him, they have so much quest to make wealth, they began to rubbish his government. And thank God, the opposition party took an advantage of the loophole that was created by Obasanjo that gave rise to Sharia in Zamfara state. They now made the entire northern state to become a Sharia nation. Who gave right to Mohammed Yusuf, the first leader of Boko Haram, that was extrajudicially executed by the police, that gave rise today to the terrorist organization that we have in Nigeria. Now, they took advantage, and the present vice presidential candidate of APC, then the governor of Borno State, Shatima, spearheaded the propaganda after the Shibo girls were adopted. And then the Shibo girls were adopted. He took advantage of the Shibo girls adoption as a tool to work against the government of Ebele Jonathan. Finally, in 2015, Ebele Jonathan was defeated in a controversial election. But because he has said the blood of one Nigerian, his ambition does not want the blood of any Nigerian. He decided to accept his fate, even in the face of many of his lieutenants, telling him, we can't accept this. The day came again. As at this time, guys, a dollar was about 150 to 1 naira. A bag of rice was about 18,000 naira to a bag. Everything was still in the moderate level. Then this man came in. Everybody shouted, Sir Baba. Everybody called him the Messiah. A Messiah that have had 150 cows in the last 14 years of his life. They never reproduced, neither do they die. There was no increase or decrease. Many of us, like me, we shouted, this is a wrong move, because I know in 1983, when Buhari was a military head of state, I was already a boy who knows his left from his right. I knew what we went through. As we were shouting, nobody was ready to listen to us. And they voted him into power. Then there came high level of incompetency, nepotism, tribalism, favoritism, and other, things that were not ought to have been in our nation called Nigeria. Then our economy, who was the fastest growing economy in the world, began to nosedive. Our economy, who was the first in Africa, is not even among the first 10 economy in Africa today. Everything of our economy began to die down sharply. The same thing was what Obi went through in Anambra State, guys. He planned Anambra for a future. Ask any Anambra politician there who are there. When Peter was about to leave, wanted to bring somebody that was like him. The Anambra people, the politicians, the traditional rulers beckoned on him. That no, it's going to be terrible. It's going to be a war if you bring one who is 100% like you. We will need for you to have a rethink. We need for you to have a rethink. And they suggested Obiano Willie to him, who came and destroyed all that Peter Obi did in his 8 years. He prepared the ground. You cannot build a gigantic building without making proper foundation. And we're going to carry, the weight of what is going to be on that building. So many people today do not understand what transpired between the time. Many people today will not understand what transpired between the time Peter Obi was in government at this very particular time in Anambra State. Somebody told me, do you know that Peter Obi left debt for Anambra? And I laughed. And asked me a question, which they said there was a contract he awarded that he didn't pay for. And I asked the guy the question, did the contractor finish the job? He said no. And I said, why would Peter Obi pay for a job that is not completed? I remember there was a governor, I forgot the state, who said in a live broadcast that when he went to Anambra State and saw what Willie was doing, he was a mother. They asked Willie, how do you get money? He said, now the money when my predecessor leave, now they use. I want to do something where I have legacy left behind. It's on the internet. That shows even Willie, who is lying today about Peter Obi, actually admitted to some persons in private of what Peter Obi did while he was in government. In the Nigeria of today, what we need is a man that can be able to fashion Nigeria to a workable nation. We need a government that is prudent in spending, who can cut excessively the excessive spending of the Nigerian government today. Because one of our greatest problems is we borrow to spend on recurrent expenditures. No country want to develop. We go the way of Nigeria. We borrow to spend on recurrent. How can you borrow money from a bank and you are spending the money on things that are not visible? How guys? How can you spend money on things not visible? Which one of you here who are businessmen will do that? You borrow money to pay salaries. You borrow money to fly your sick president abroad. You borrow money to buy cars for senators. You borrow money to feed them. You borrow money to buy the newspapers and clothes. Which businessman will actually do that? I want to ask somebody a question here. If you have a company, who will you employ between Tinubu, Atiku, and Peter Obi? Who are you going to employ? You don't want who has the tendency to save for the rainy day. That's why when he was living, he left billions of naira. And he told you, say, go and verify. He's so confident of himself. In 2023, we need a man that is confident, that has what it takes to take us from where we are to where we're supposed to be. We need a man who has the trader mentality. Peter Obi is a trader. So he knows how to buy and sell. What Nigeria needs right now is a man that can manage our lean economy. 2020 is not going to be politics as usual. You cannot put a man who has this urge for excessive wealth, like Bola Tinubu or Atiku Abubakar, to parlor the affair of this nation. I can promise you guys, this nation will crumble. This guy flies on private jets around the world. This guy lives very extravagant lifestyle. These are not the kind of people we need in the corridor of power in a country that is financially stagnated. These are the kind of people we need in a country that is struggling to take care of its daily needs. We need a man who has what it takes to manage within the available resources of Nigeria. And the only man that can do that is a trader. One who understood business and how to manage businesses. So when you are clamoring for the 2023 presidential election, be mindful of the future of your children and your children's children. I've been in Nigeria now close to 2 years. And I decided, by God's grace, not to return back to Europe, to go and live or settle there and go for a visit. I decided to see how can we go to contribute my own quota to the development of this nation. Those of us who live abroad, that from there we cast aspiration on Obi and many others who are fighting hard to give us a better Nigeria. I want you to go and rethink again. The land you live in was built by people. If you are not prudent, you can never build a nation. If you don't have the control of your financial whatever, you can never build a nation. The only way you can build a nation the only way you can build a nation is when You have what it takes to manage the resources that is available to you. So these are many things that we need to think come 2023. Let's use our heads. Let's throw partisanship aside. Let's deal with real issues, which are real politics that will take us to the next level. In 2023, it's not going to be about politics. It will be about competency. It's not going to be about political party. It will be about who will lead us. All right. And I'm here to give you the best of my life. The man who will lead us to that land of promise is no other person than Peter Obi of the Labour Party. He is the choice. Even the Americans, even other nationalities, are babused by the way and manner it tears apart politics and economy of a nation. Somebody said, how can you stop insecurity? Said insecurity is caused by poverty. Believe it or not. There's no jihadists in Saudi Arabia. They have it in Dubai. Do you know why? Because there's high level of employment. People are engaged. They don't think of what is wrong. Of all what is done. So we as a people must begin to start thinking. Maxwell, can you hear me? Hello, Maxwell.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Yamato. And I'm so much grateful to be on your show today. It's a pleasure to always talk to you because people who has so much in their head, who has so much commitment for the well-being for the Nigerian people, you've always wanted to, put your shoulders with them to enable a nation building, just like you said, someone like Peter Obi. So when I look at people like that, I always look at people like you who has always been putting the Nigerian people at heart. So it's always glad to always have you and also join you on the show. Thank you thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, my brother. So you can go ahead, just give us your thoughts.
Well, Mandela was asked, who do you look up to as a leader? And he said to the people, I do not look at the leaders themselves. I look at someone, a person who believe that has the people in heart and believe in the upcoming generation and also believe the well-being of the people matters to him. That is the person he admires as a hero. And these are the kind of things that you are preaching to today. And I have always seen, and you've known me too well, as a Democrat, as somebody who believes in the people. And this was what we have been clamoring for in you and I on this channel. And looking at what Peter Obi stands for today, I am very glad to always, and align myself with people like that, who has always seen the people to be one of the most precious things in a nation. And somebody who believes that to take a country from consumption to production, that is what Nigerians should be clamoring for. Somebody who believes that every individual is subject under the rule of law, irrespective of your tribe and belief. And somebody who also believe that a little boy with a funny name who believe that that country and that nation has a place for him too. These are the kind of people I clamor for. Looking at what Peter Obi has, I think Nigeria should be grateful for having such an impeccable leader, somebody who will always uplift the nation from what it is now to a better and a prosperous society. And this is what I align myself with. And this is why whenever I see him talk, I always make sure I take a lot from him, because we have a lot to gain. Because tomorrow, they say we are the future of tomorrow. And this is what I've always urged all Nigerians to cue in. Because where we are today now, Nigeria is like a time bomb, whereby different factions have always come out to say, it is time for me to be on my own. What causes it? It is the injustice that these leaders have put us into. And this is why we don't want a system that will be governed by selfish interest and people who believe that all their pockets should be rising and the poor should remain poor and nobody else. So for me today, I think Nigerians everywhere around the globe, we have a responsibility to say, to talk to our peoples back home, talk to our brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, that it is time that we take our country back. Our country has been enveloped with hatred and division from all various parts, of the sector. But I believe that a Nigeria will become prosperous tomorrow if we have somebody like Peter Obi, who believe on a nation building and peaceful, coexistence of individuals of different culture or backgrounds.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Somebody just said here now, I said, Peter Obi is competent of all what we are saying, but Peter Obi will never be able to stop the agenda of colonization of Nigeria. This is why we should renegotiate our unity. Sister Enley said that. That is true, but I want to tell you something. Why decolonization will stop the moment Peter Obi gets in. If, for example, or for whatsoever reason, Bola Tinubu wins, it's a Muslim ticket. Do not forget, decolonization of Nigeria is colorated in politics. I repeat, decolonization of Nigeria is colorated in politics or in religion. So it's like decolonization of Nigeria is colored in religion, which is the Islamic religion, that makes every Muslim to buy into that agenda. Okay, so what they do now, they are not only showcasing their plan to colonize Nigeria, but they are bringing it with the Islamic agenda. That's what Usman Gafodo did when he came and invaded another part of Nigeria. He came to colonize, but he actually came in with the idea of Islam that made many people to buy into it. So now that we have a Muslim ticket and a core and a very radical Muslim like Atiku, then we now have a Peter Obi with a moderate Muslim like Dati. So the choice now we have is for us. The choice now we have is for us to actually vote in a Peter Obi that we're able to stop some of these rules or plans of colonization. Let me tell you, yesterday I was listening to a guy, a pastor from Kaduna. He said the word Ruga. The word Ruga. He said the word Ruga is not an Hausa language, it's a Fulani language, which means in my land. Yesterday, he said the word Ruga is not an Hausa language, it's a Fulani language, which means in my land. But when people like Peter Obi will come in, this renegotiation of our unity will become imminent as a result of their presence. But with the way things are, it becomes next to impossible for you to be able to do such. If another one comes in, but while we are planning to make sure that we get the man that will lead us aright, because when there is prosperity, people will not want to start, fighting for power. Go to America today. America is the land of all. That's who Nigeria is to the Community of Nations in this world, in Africa. But the problem we're having today is that many of us will start believing that this land belongs to me. I'm a Swedish citizen. I'm a European citizen today. So, but I'm not going to lay claim to you because everything is there for everyone to actually live in and enjoy from. So why we need a Peter Obi is to be able to make the right thing or the right choice at the right time. So before we can stop any Islamization agenda, before we can stop any fulanization agenda, before we can stop any of these, very, myopic setting of some group of people, we must be able to bring into power a man that will have the capacity to do the right thing. Just like I give example before of Umaru Musa Yar'Adua, how he tried and ended the agitation in the South, and many other things that was happening. That is what we need in a nation in Nigeria. A man that will come in and try to do the right thing, that there will be a way that we all can be able to go and change what is actually affecting us as a people. You get that, man? So this is one thing that we all need to understand. Very, very important, guys. Very, very important. Very, very important. Oh yeah, guys, please, I need to run back to work right now. It's already 9 here, and I'm in the office. I just need to quickly do this very early in the morning and to run back to work. Maybe later in the day, if I have some free time, I'm going to come back here and give you all. I want to say thank you to Israel Semota for your time, for being with me this morning on the show. I want to thank every one of you that are here who actually contributed in one way or the other through your chat and your chat, your comments, and all what may. God bless you guys. Let's keep our heads together. Let's be obedient to save Nigeria come 2023. Peter, Obi, and Date is the answer right now. Thank you, guys. God bless you. I remain your brother, your friend, your man Stevie, and I say bye for now and have a wonderful day.